Hey, you know what I despise with all my heart? False dilemmas imposed on me by, excuse my language, goofballs who have no idea what they're talking about. Who hasn't heard this one before? Bro, you can either go out and you can quickly get something, tastes pretty good, but it's not gonna be very good for you, or you can take the time to cook it home and it'll actually be good for you, but you gotta pick, you gotta choose one. Silence, you silly willy. Oh, thanks, but no thanks. I'm skipping options number 1 and 2. I'm jumping straight to 75, factor 75. Factor 75 is kind of like if you lived in a world that was run by human beings and it made sense. I mean, you got these like reptilian overlord weirdos over here talking about, hey, why don't we make some creepy little meals made out of poison and freeze them like the Thing in Antarctica, and we can sell them to unsuspecting families and poison their children. And then you got the human beings over here at Factor 75 who just kind of would rather not do that. How about some delicious, nutritious, chef-crafted meals? Vacuum sealed, never frozen, sent straight to your door, ready to eat in 2 minutes. Just reject that false dichotomy that quick, easy food has to be bad for you. Factor's got 35 healthy, wholesome, delicious weekly meal options for you to choose from. And then, what was it, 60 different add-ons that you could add to your box. Like they got breakfast, they got lunch on the go, they got all sorts of like smoothies and drinks and stuff like that, snacks. They got meals for everybody too. They got high protein, they got keto, they got carb conscious. That's keto. Calorie conscious, that's what I meant. They got the vegan, they got the vegetarian, I gotta say that. But if you're feeling a little bougie, you can throw a little gourmet meal in there. They got like filet mignon, shrimp, truffle butter. I'm intermittent fasting, so this is hard to talk about. But truly guys, Factor is the bomb. If you wanna hear something completely unhinged, if you use my code in the description, you're gonna get 50% off your first box. Not 15, 50. That's just nuts. And you wanna make me spiral even further? We're gonna do 20% off the next 4 boxes after that too. I'm losing my mind here, guys. This deal is just too dang good. Please click that link in the description, use my code. Well, what are you even doing not taking advantage of a deal that good? When I was a kid, we didn't have deals like that. When I was your age, I was sitting around watching Nickelodeon wondering if I was gonna win the sweepstakes to meet Aaron Carter. I didn't know what a sweepstakes was. I never entered one. I was just like, will I meet Aaron Carter? Anyways, Factor 75, very epic deal. Please check the link in the description. Thank you very much for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to it. Alrighty, Wellas, we are getting close. Here is the new support system that goes underneath the tread plate to give it some more rigidity. I mean, the tread plate's like an 1/8 inch thick already. It's already pretty rigid, but this is really gonna firm it up. Yes, I am gonna run cross members, but I wanted to show you this before I do that. So obviously the tread plate is flat and the frame is this very, very irregular shape, and I need to connect the two. So the way that I've done that is I have this flat piece of U-channel. I made this by slicing some square tubing down the middle. Shout out Evolution Power Tools for the multi-material blade. And then from there, I mean, really no other way to put it, just like a really painstaking process of taking very careful measurements to see how long these pillars would need to be to just, you know, perfectly come down and meet the frame. But after a good amount of time, I finally got it. It's looking pretty good in my opinion. From there, I cut the holes in the appropriate spot with a 1-inch hole saw, and then I welded the pillars over top, or I guess underneath, huh? Now, here's a really pretty nice function of these pillars that I kind of stumbled across, honestly. I sliced off the inside corner of each of them so that the captured nut clip can just slide right in there. And in my opinion, most importantly, it also allows for drainage, so there's no water pooling up inside the pillar and eventually rusting. I am trying to be pretty conscious of rust. I don't want to have to redo this thing in, you know, a year or two, or just like totally trash the bed. So I definitely got a lot of drainage on the brain. Oh, and I said I accidentally stumbled across the slicing off the corner because at first I just done it on the very front pillar right there so that it would be able to sit nice and flush inside the bed without bumping into my bulbous weld. Once I sliced it, I was like, hey, that's actually completely perfect for what I'm trying to do with these clips. And I gotta say, it's looking pretty nice. That Evolution miter saw makes working with square tubing like a step away from Legos practically. It's just so easy. Alrighty, time for the cross members. Just take some really careful measurements between the two, 28 and 3/16, and just barely less than that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these off and weld them up in the garage. It would be a lot easier and a lot more precise to weld them up here, but That's the gas tank. So can't fix a truck if I am exploded to death. Okay, I got the bed flipped over, I got the frame clamped in place, and I'm gonna use those holes as kind of a stencil to drill through the tread plate. Ouch, that's hot. All right, I've been battling rust for the last few hours. I know a lot of this paint is gonna get burnt off when I weld the frame on the other side. As far as I can think, I'm not gonna be doing any welding really close to the edges right here. So in the interest of preserving the progress that I've made so far with the rust removal, I'm gonna put a little coating in these edges. Yeah, it's still kind of rusty right there. So I've got the frame clamped up at the bottom here, you can see, but the whole entire rest of the frame is kind of warpy and it's twisty, and you can see some spots it's popping up. One option is to put a whole bunch of weight plates or sandbags or something on top of it before I start welding. Sounds like a big hassle. I'm not really interested in that. So I'm gonna show you a pretty cool trick. These bar clamps have a feature that a lot of people don't know about. This right here is a button that allows you to pop off one end, and you can actually put it on the other side. And now you have a tool for separating things with a lot of strength as opposed to a clamp. But that's not what I'm doing today. I'm gonna pop the end off, slip the bar through the hole, reattach the end underneath. Now I can clamp this down super nice and tight. I'm gonna go ahead and do it for every single one. All right, I got it clamped down all the way around, ready for welding. Forgot to film this too. I got this these extra little pieces of U-channel sticking off the sides. These are where I connect the trusses to that connect to the really thin parts of the body. Alrighty, well, as I'm gonna get all the welding done. I don't like filming welding. I don't have the right sensor or filter for the camera, and it's not good for the sensor. People kind of wonder about that. They think I'm turning the camera away because I don't want to blind you guys. Yeah, that's not it. Anyways, I'll check back in with you guys when this is all welded up. There we go. Took longer than I thought it was going to, for sure. I've got every corner of the frame zapped up and 6 roughly 1-inch beads on each cross member, 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. And then I do a little one anywhere it looks like it needs it. There we go. This was one of those builds where it's definitely starting to feel like it's never gonna end, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel and I am so excited to have my truck back finally. I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up and painted. Somehow it didn't occur to me that replacing all that 24 gauge sheet metal with 1/8 inch steel would make the whole thing a lot heavier. Who'd have thunk? Dang. I should not have put that rope tie off thing so high up there. That's gonna be scary to undo. See if I can do this before the neighbors start yelling at me. Holy smokes. That was it. That was the end. I have my truck back. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Holy smokes. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's freaking good. You can fit so many kettlebells in this thing. No, so I actually finished it about a week ago, and I've since loaded it up with about, I don't know, 700 pounds of stuff. Drove it a couple hours out for one of those group workouts, and I know that's not some like magical feat for a pickup truck, but it tells me that it's functional, and that's all I really wanted. I just wanted my truck back. I'm so happy to have my truck back. I gotta show you something though. So I unfortunately, but not really unfortunately, because I don't really care, I wasn't really able to use my custom little pieces here to fill in the corners. Because while it would be really cool to be able to say I made those pieces on a sheet metal bender and welded them in and everything, I just knew that even if I got it welded in there to a satisfactory level, it still just would never be as strong as if I got some 1/8 inch tread plate in there. So it's like, you know, this is ego, this is functionality, so you know, I did what I had to do. And then obviously there'd be this little gap right here, so I just, you know, stuck some cardboard up against here and traced around it, and that's how I got my little shape for what I would need to cut out of some other 1/8 inch steel so I could put it up against there and weld it. And obviously this is not tricking anybody into thinking this is a factory bed, but for my own little work truck, come on. Thank you guys really so much for blowing up that last video. To be totally honest, I thought changing up my the genre like this, I would get, you know, 30K views or something on the video, but that's been like my highest performing video in a really long time. It's been a breath of fresh air over the kind of sparse views that I've been having for a little while now. So thank you guys for sticking around for me trying out something new. I'm glad that it turned out really cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed the journey. And thank you very, very much to Spactor for sponsoring the video. And thank you very, very much to Factor for sponsoring the video. Remember guys, check the link in the description. That's all I got for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.